So today we are actually going to be talking about how an Obama appointed judge has ruled that illegal immigrants can possess a gun legally in a country that they are illegal to. Oh, let's get into this. All right, I have an article here and it says because one of the main questions before I even get into the article are this, okay? And mind you, I am from Illinois, all right? So there are certain things that I had to do in order to do what I want to do. Okay, so let's say I want to have a gun. I have applied for a FOID card, okay? It was a pretty simple process. Boom, 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 put your information in there, and then you get to, have your stuff out. All right, they'll give you the card and boom, boom, boom. But here's the thing. If you say that someone who is illegally here can now have rights and liberties, freedoms of people who are legally here, well, why do I need a FOIA card? Isn't that a pretty valid question? Why would I need a FOID card? Why would I have to go and put in all my information into this website to get a legal card if you guys aren't even going to allow these people who are illegally here to get a card? We're going to talk about the felons and all the other stuff later on. But I want to get into this article that we have. And it says Republicans say FOID should be void if illegal immigrants can possess guns. And yes, that is something that I'm very curious about. Why have a FOID card, put all this stuff in there? Firearm owner identification. Why do I have to do all of this if they don't have to do any of this? And of course, this kind of stuff varies state by state. Texas, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't have that. Anyone could just have it. Illinois, they're very strict on that. You got to have the card in order to have it. But let's get into it. It says Illinois House Republicans are both condemning and praising a recent federal judge ruling about illegal immigrants being able to carry firearms for protection. Earlier this month, Northern District of Illinois federal judge, this is the name, Sharon Johnson Coleman, ruled in favor of Herberto Carbajal Flores, a foreign national in the U.S. illegally, who was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. The judge said, the law violates the Second Amendment applied in this one case. So she said only in this one case, but we know how it is. Just because it may be invalid or maybe because it's valid in one case doesn't mean that it's invalid in everything else. So who's to say that it doesn't just go for everything else? But how is this in violation? Let's get into it. The court finds the Carbajal Flores criminal record containing no improper use of a weapon, as well as the non-violent circumstances of his arrest, do not support a finding that he possessed a risk to public safety such that he cannot be trusted to use a weapon responsibly and should be deprived of his Second Amendment right to bear arms in self-defense. The judge wrote, thus, the court finds that, as applied to Flores, Section 922 is unconstitutional. Okay, so let's dissect that a little bit. It said the court finds that the criminal record containing no improper use of weapons. So because his criminal record because he's illegally here, is it from the United States? Is it from his home country? We don't know. It just said that his criminal record from wherever, okay, is non-violent. So you don't have any violence in your history from your home country or here. We don't know. It just said it's just a criminal record, but you're not even legally here. So because you do not have any violence in there, they're saying, ergo, you do not possess a safety risk, a public safety risk. Ergo, you can now have a weapon, a firearm, because it's protected by the Second Amendment. You can have the firearm even though you're not a legal citizen. Okay. And then we have another quote, another representative, and it says, why shouldn't gun owners across the state cut up their FOID cards and be able to buy guns out of the state without worry? If a person who is not legally in the state can have his constitutional rights, so can the rest of us. That's really the big thing here, because you're saying, oh, well, you got to have your FOIA card. You have to do this. You have to do that, even though you have certain states where they really don't require that, like Texas, for example. You could just go to the store, fill out some paperwork, get a gun, and you're good. Meanwhile, Illinois, now we got to get the FOIA card. We got to go through this process, this. But then you have someone who isn't even legally supposed to be here. And then you just have them be like, oh, okay, well, you could go have a gun. Only in this particular circumstance. But who's to say that it does not go for other ones? Now, here's the thing. So yes, question, why not just get rid of the FOIA card? Also, another thing, why not just let anyone, like the person said, why not just have any and everyone just have one? Why not? I mean, obviously, this person's not following the rules and you don't care. Okay. Also, why have rules for firearms at all? What's the point if you're going to allow someone who's not even legally supposed to be here, to have one? Why? Oh, if he is illegal, how is he able to get benefits for a country that he does not legally reside in? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, from a constitutional stance, you're not legally here. So I don't get how you get the benefits for it. Also, another thing, what about felons? Because when you're a felon, you're not legally supposed to be in possession of a firearm. So how does that work? If you're a felon and this person is illegal, oh, but they have no violence in their history. Yeah, but they're also not legally here either. So if you're a felon, are their rights now going to be reinstated? Is that something that you could take up to the judge, the Supreme Court? How does that work? Because at the end of the day, this person is legal. Yes, they broke the law, but then they're banned from getting, firearms. This person is illegal. They quote unquote didn't break the law, but we don't know. And then they are allowed to practice under our Constitution. So that's something I'm just curious about. This is another reason why voting Democrat is not a good idea, y'all. This just is not. It's one too many issues arising.